Hello everyone, my name is Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. We are once again reacting to another one of Isaac Butterfield's videos. This one is called Men Are Not Okay. I'm not sure if the majority of men are not okay. I don't know if it means personally or socially. Socially, no, men are not really okay at all. Individually, I can't really comment on the vast majority of men, but I'd say probably a good amount of them are probably not okay, and a lot of people don't really care if they're okay or not because they're a guy. So, but let's see what this video is about.
Ladies and gentlemen, not too long ago, I saw a video from Shoe on Head, a YouTuber, asking the question, are men okay? And I thought, you know what, that is a very interesting question. Maybe I should ask that as well and delve deep into the internet to find out, are men okay? And I don't want to spoil the video for everybody, but the answer is no. Not even slightly. There's a wild reason we should all be worried about Chris Hemsworth. And this is by Mary Madigan, and she's my favorite journalist here in Australia, because she says, like, look at these guys. They're ripped, they look great, very fit, but they should be worried because that's not what Australian women are attracted to anymore. All right, not anymore. They're more attracted to Troye Sivan or Sivan.
Who the fuck is this kid? The dude looks like he's 14.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, we're more attracted to fucking Troye Sivan, who works in the library putting books back and making sure that the Dewey Decimal System is upheld. Him and Christian Wilkinson, who dresses as a chick, yeah, they're the new version of masculinity here in Australia. And I'm just really happy to let you all know that this is the path I'm going down. I'm going to be a skinny bloke who dresses in a fucking woman's outfit. That is what I want to achieve in my life, because I want to be on the front cover of GQ magazine looking fucking feminine as fuck. All right, that is my life's goal.
I just finished at the gym, and this morning I had a guy be such a dick to me. I haven't experienced that at the gym before. I was using one of the machines and he kept asking me, would I be long? And I said, nope, I've got...
I mean, unless she's been on there for 30 minutes, just don't even fucking ask.
2 more sets of 10 to do and then I'm all done. And he just said he doesn't appreciate being inconvenienced by people who aren't even lifting serious weights.
Now, do I call bullshit on this happening? Maybe.
Okay. The thing about the gym is, not everybody in there is going to be lifting seriously, is not going to be, you know, trying to put on gains as seriously as probably others are. Some people are there probably just to get in there maybe hourly cardio in, or just to maintain what their current body is at, or, you know, there are many reasons why people go into the gym. Now, for you to get upset because they're not lifting as seriously as what you believe they should be doing doesn't mean you get to be a dick about it. Not everybody is in the gym for the same reason that you are. Just, you know, if you're gonna ask if they're almost done with their set and they give you an answer, be like, no, I have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 sets left. Just be like, okay, and, you know, move on with your day, go on with your next workout, and then excuse me, go maybe look over again to see if they're done with the machine or done with what they're doing that you want to do that they are doing. And if they're done, great, go ahead and continue with the workout you were going to do before you ask them. Just don't be a dick. Let people get on with their lives in the gym and let them do what they're going to do.
That's a pretty dick thing to say. Like, I can't imagine the type of asshole that would say that. Although, in saying that, there are a lot of absolute fuckwits who go to the gym. There are a lot of fuckwit men out there who go to the gym. So perhaps this happened. If it did happen, that's a real shame. You should just fucking shut up. And if you think to yourself, you know what, I'm going to go over to that lady over there who's not lifting enough weight for me. Before you do that, grab yourself 2 of those metal plates, like 20 kilo, 45 plates, put your testicles between them and fucking jam them. That's what you should do, all right, you cockhead. Leave people alone. Me trying to trick my husband into holding our 80-day-old for the first time whilst he's distracted. Okay.
Can you hold this, please?
Okay, that's a joke, obviously. But I think it does comment on something that's really, really important. Now, men who were born late 80s, early 90s are having babies. Some are literally having babies because men can have babies. But others are becoming dads for the first time. And I think we're seeing something really, really interesting. We're seeing a cultural shift. We're seeing men becoming better versions of their fathers, becoming more involved. They're playing with their kids. They're helping feed their kids if they're on the bottle or there's bottle with breast milk, all that type of stuff. They're getting up to their kids in the middle of the night. They're getting up to them nice and early. And they're becoming as involved as the mother. Now, there is no doubt that children need their mums more than anyone. Right? They need their mum there. That is their savior. That is their lifeline. But dads need to be almost as involved. All right?
They've done extensive study on I don't know the particulars of the study because I haven't really read up on it. I just know it by what I've watched and what I've heard that well, the mothers are important in a child's growth and development. Despite what a lot of very vocal minority women say, the fathers are just as important in a child's development as the mother is. Both parents are equally as important. None of them is more important than the other. A child needs a mother in his life just as much as they need a father. Now, my mom told me when I was a baby that I think my dad was working like 2 jobs at the time. So my mom was a stay-at-home mom for a while. I don't know for how long she was a stay-at-home mom, but every time my dad came home and saw that I was asleep, I don't know if it was every time, but sometimes he would come home and see me asleep and he would cry and be sad because he was so worried that he was never going to be there to see me grow up. He wasn't really going to be there for any moments or anything. So he was so worried and he was sad that he wasn't going to be there for everything, but he had to work a lot in order to make sure that me and mom had a roof over our head and everything, and especially when my brother came into the picture. But yeah, I would say fathers are just as important in child rearing as a mother is. And anyone who thinks that one is more important than the other or one is not needed at all, you're a fucking idiot.
Need to be there all the time, and I get you got to go to work and all that type of stuff and provide for the family. Very, very important, no doubt. But it's so fantastic to see a lot of millennial men, I guess you'd call them, being more involved than their dads. And that is going to end up with much healthier children and healthier adults, and thus healthier children when they have kids. So I guess in that respect, are men okay? They're doing better. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to interrupt this video, talk about this. Better Man, my book. It's out right now. In fact, you can pre-order it. Head to isaacbutterfield.com, and I would appreciate you if you got one, because we're going to fight for top spot on the charts. This is a book about modern masculinity. In fact, it's a manifesto on modern masculinity. It's all about how you can be a better version of yourself. It's not a self-help book. It's not an autobiography. It's genuine thoughts and feelings about certain things that men have to face in the modern era. This isn't a book about me, although it does talk about me because I'm very important, obviously, but it is a book about you. It's a book about every man. It's a book about being a better man. And I just want you to read it. If it's your first book, give it a crack. If it's your 1000th book, give it a crack. And let me know your thoughts. As a first-time author, I'm very, very terrified to see what people think, but also I'm hopeful that I can help a lot of people. Check it out. Better Man at isaacbutterfield.com.
How much you guys want to bet that feminists and very vocal minority of women are going to rip, just ungodly rip into that book and just claim it blasphemy and whatnot?
Right now. Somebody tell me what's wrong with boys. Okay.
Because I had to break up with this boy. Because he refused to do anything that wasn't just sitting around his apartment with me.
I believe we're going to start seeing a rapid increase in women communities. And mommunes. Mommunes being communities of single mothers helping each other out and living next to each other.
Okay, so we're getting rid of men. Okay, cool. Before we go deep into what the fuck she's talking about, dudes, if you're just sitting around all day and you're not helping your partner, you're a shit partner, you're a shit bloke, fuck you to the moon. Okay, we've covered that? Cool.
And women communities being the same thing without the children. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Here are a few. One, majority of men in relationships act like her ex-partner.
Do they? The majority of men. Well, I'd like to think that
I don't think it's the majority of men. I think it's very minority of men, and it's you. Oh, all right. A lot of the women say the majority of men suck or all men suck. No, ladies, I'm sorry. It's the kind of men you keep picking that suck. You obviously see that the men you pick are a problem. You keep going after these bad boys or these idiots, and you keep having your heart broken over and over and over again. And some of you obviously see the red flags or see the signs, yet you fucking ignore them and you keep being with these dickheads. And then you go about saying all men are horrible or majority of men suck. No, I'm sorry. It is the men that you pick that suck. Do a better job, pick better guys. Go after the nice guy. Or not the nice guy. The nice guys suck. Go after the good guy.
That's false.
They refuse to meet anything that's over the bare minimum.
That's absolutely a fact for some relationships, but is it every relationship?
All right. The bare minimum. I know it's not the majority of women. It is it's the very vocal women that are fucking annoying that keep talking about this bare minimum. And the bare minimum keeps fucking rising and rising and rising and rising to the point where the bare minimum is the maximum amount somebody should do in a relationship. The absolute maximum. And they see it as the bare minimum, which is complete bullshit and stupidity. Like, these kind of women expect the moon and then some in a relationship. And most of these women that are very vocal about it are also the women who don't do shit in return.
Relationship, maybe you're just picking the wrong people. Maybe it's as much on you as it is the dude.
And most of them can even reach the bare minimum.
You should be doing far much more than the bare minimum every single day. I talk about that in Better Man, that you should be working your ass off to make your partner's life as easy as possible, and they should be doing the same for you. It counterbalances, and then you have a perfect relationship.
For me, I see the bare minimum as this. And I gotta kind of think about it because I haven't been in a relationship in almost 10 years. But, you know, making sure both of you are happy, or making sure your partner's happy, you know, every once in a while, if one of you is working and the other one isn't, the person who's working, you know, maybe during the weekends when you have days off, help around the house, or if you get home after a couple hours of decompressing, help around the house for whatever needs to be done. Make sure your partner feels loved and appreciated and respected. Maybe go out every once in a while. I'd probably say maybe once or twice a month at minimum. You know, all that stuff is kind of like the bare minimum. That's not much to ask for in a relationship. You know, be happy. Make sure just love each other. Be happy. Do stuff for each other. That's not much to ask for. And like I said, it's some of these women, and they're the ones that are like all over the fucking internet and everything. That's the one everybody seems to be hearing, is that these women expect you to give them the moon, the heavens, and the earth, and all this stuff, and yet they don't do anything in return for their partner. Or they do the bare minimum for their partner, and they expect what they believe the bare minimum, which is the fucking maximum, first. So
relationship. That's how you become best friends in a relationship. There's a whole chapter about marrying your best friend. That's what I'm talking about.
2, a lot of dudes act like those dudes in her comment. basically blaming her and calling her money hungry just because she wanted to spend quality time with her boyfriend outside of the house.
Because she wanted to go out for dinner. Okay, and some people can't afford that. That's fine. But yeah, there's plenty of things you can do for free.
Again, under the bare minimum. 3, a lot of women feel like they're no longer emotionally compatible with men. 4, women no longer need to depend on a man to make a living for themselves, thank God.
Do they feel those things? I guarantee you, ladies, that if you decide that you're not emotionally compatible with men anymore and you don't need men, you'll end up sad and alone. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. You do need a companion. You do, all right? You can tell me all day
Focus,
you don't,
Cameron.
but you do.
Thank you.
Though America's really trying to rule that back. But the reality is, as women sit down and understand just...
Hang on.
I don't think America is trying to rule it back. It's just a lot of women now are waking up to seeing that a lot of this bullshit that the that the modern current day feminist movement is peddling out is just a bunch of bullshit. Look, it's fine if you want to be independent, make a career, and, you know, do all this stuff yourself. That's fine. You know, if that makes you happy, do what you want to do. Be yourself there, babe. But a lot of women are seeing now that just doing only that doesn't lead to happiness. Because I've seen a lot of videos where these women look around and see their friends and see their sisters or cousins or whatever, where they get married and have kids, and then they look at themselves and they see they're still alone, and they don't have a boyfriend, they don't have a fiance, they don't have a husband, and they don't have kids, and they see that they've accomplished a lot in their career, but they feel empty, like a big piece is missing. And this current modern feminist movement has basically peddled out this rhetoric that you don't need a man to be happy. You just need yourself. You just need your career. Be independent. Be a strong woman. And you'll be happy throughout your entire life. Where a majority of these women who have bought into this bullshit have found to not find a lot of happiness within it. Sure, it's like a momentary happiness. They've feel, accomplished. They've feel like they've achieved something, which is great. It's a great thing to feel. No, don't get me wrong. But they still feel like there's a hole in their chest, or they feel empty. So, maybe this sort of stuff this rhetoric that they've been pushing out is just bullshit.
America's trying to stop women going to work. Are they? Okay, cool. If you have a baby, you shouldn't go to work. You should raise that baby.
Yeah, that's another thing. Here in America, they should give new parents a 1-year maternity leave. Both the father, both the mother and the father, I'd say, give them a 1-year paternity leave or maternity leave, whichever one it's called. But give them at least a year so they can spend the year with the kid raising it. Here in America, I think we get, 6 to 8 weeks, and that's it. I mean, if one person makes enough money for the other parent to be a stay-at-home parent to raise a child, that's great. But it's getting more and more expensive to, have a house or an apartment and keep food on the table, to the point where both parents have to work, and then it's even more expensive to find a babysitter to watch after the kid. And not a lot of new parents can have their parents look after their kid, or their siblings look after their kid, because their parents and their brothers and sisters have to work to keep food on the table and a roof over their head. So they have to spend maybe hundreds of dollars just to have a babysitter look after their kid. So I think everywhere in America needs to have a 1-year paternity leave for both parents, so they can have time to raise their kid and make sure their kid is doing fine. And at least that's what I think. I know a lot of people out there would agree with me that there should be a 1-year paternity or whichever one is called. I'm just going to call it paternity leave. But yeah, I think most people, if not everyone, would probably agree with me that we need a 1-year leave for new parents. At least that's what I think.
No, that's a pretty crazy thing to say.
How worthy they are, they understand that their male counterparts do not care and do not see their worth. That being said, even if they're romantic, they're not going to settle for a broken relationship.
If you are with someone who is shit, then that's your fault. Get out.
What's your name?
My name is...
Yeah, if you're with someone that's shit and you continued, look, if you immediately see that the person you're with is shit, or after a while they finally show that they're shit, and you leave with them, you made a smart decision. But if you see that they are shit, and you continue to be with them, even though you know they are shit, I'm sorry, but at that point, I don't have sympathy for you. You are just an idiot. You have decided to stay with that idiot. You're a dumbass. You have no right to complain if you continue to be with a dumbass. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
Jamie.
What do you do?
Jamie,
I am
hey
a fashion
bro.
stylist.
Tell me what you're wearing today.
I am wearing Ralph Lauren, Veronica Main on its super.
Jamie's dressed like he's going to fucking year 12 muck-up days, where the last year of school in Australia, in high school, you have a muck-up day where you do all silly things and you throw fucking eggs and all that type of stuff at the younger people at school. But there's a thing where you cross-dress on year 12 muck-up day. You're not allowed to do it anymore. It's called gender bending day, where you dress as a girl. Or a boy if you're a girl. Now you can't do that because it's horribly offensive to people who...
See how that's offensive? You want to dress up like a woman? Go right ahead. Go ahead and cross-dress. If you're a woman, you want to dress up as a man? Go right ahead. I don't see how the fuck is that offensive. I swear to God, people are so fucking soft today.
want people to look at them. But obviously Jamie here is dressed for that. So congratulations, Jamie. You look stupid, mate. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You look ridiculous.
These are from Google Pixel, and this is...
What's from Google Pixel? Your fucking socks?
Mulberry.
And glasses.
These are from Key.
And jewelry.
I took all my rings off so you can't see them, but this is from Zafina.
So cool.
Thank you so much.
So cool, bro. So...
Okay, how much you guys want to bet that entire outfit, that entire ensemble he has on, is thousands of dollars?
Cool.
My biggest problem today is that people around the world that see somebody like me will say that because the king is masculine.
Come on, bro.
Okay. I will continue to say this every time I see it. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity, and there's no such thing as toxic femininity. Because masculinity and femininity in and of themselves are not toxic. The only thing that is toxic is the person. People can be toxic. Masculinity and femininity are not toxic in any way, shape, or form. That's just how it is. They're just toxic people.
Ease up. Anyone who says they're an alpha male, all right? I don't know if he's going to say it.
If you say you're an alpha male, you're not an alpha male, you're an idiot.
If you say you're an alpha male, you're a fuckwit. You're not an alpha male. You're a little beta cuck, all right? Just letting you know.
Toxic masculinity. I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
Are you guys both single? Are you guys both working?
Yeah.
Now, by working, that means that there's no men taking care of you, correct?
Right.
And you have to go into probably your masculine energy, right?
Yeah.
But in life, I've never met a man who was single.
God, who the fuck is watching this and going, yes, yes, keep talking, bro, keep talking.
Woman and went into this feminine energy. Have you?
No.
So it seems like masculinity is pretty much essential for survival, because if you didn't have masculinity, you wouldn't survive. So would you say now it's toxic masculinity or not?
No, I don't think so.
I agree with these girls that you've hired, but you just look like a wanker, all right? Sorry, bro.
That whole thing, I'm sorry, is very cringe. It is. It's pretty damn cringy.
What would the world look like if men and boys could express themselves freely? Okay, so he's breathing, that's fine, bit of breathing. The bloke's there helping him out, he's crying. That's a shame. They're there to support him. That's okay. This is all okay. That's a bit strange. That's fine, all good. That's okay, beautiful. There's a lot of rubbing going on there.
The way he said it and how I kept looking, he was just like, yeah, he's right. There's a lot of rubbing going on.
Hey, good to see you. Lots of hugs. That was a bit sexual. That's a bit different. That's very different. That's fine. That's sort of okay, I guess. That's fine. Big hugs all round.
I mean, who who doesn't want a hug? I love hugs. As long as you know it's a platonic hug. I mean, if I want anything other than a platonic hug, like if I want a familial hug, I'll go to my family. If I want a platonic hug, friends, that's fine. If I want anything else, I would need a romantic partner because I would like that kind of hug. I haven't had that kind of hug probably in almost 15 years.
Yeah, great. Just don't rub each other on the chest, I guess. I guess that's the message there. If you're sitting on the lounge next to your mate and you start rubbing his peck, you're probably going to fuck. And that's fine for...
Yes, let's fuck, shall we?
Some people. If you want to fuck dudes, good on you. Just saying, I don't think it's considered expressing yourself freely. I think it's...
Oh, a tackle hug would be fun. Just be careful where you're tackling them.
It's called fucking. Oh, this is a good one. I'm a straight guy. I have sex with guys once or twice a week.
I'm sorry. If you have sex with the same gender that you are, you're not straight. I'm sorry to break it to you. I'm sorry to break this to you, but you're not straight. Yeah. If you have sex with both genders, male and female, you're not straight. You're bisexual. If you have sex with men, if you're a guy and you have sex with men once or twice a week, but you also have sex with females every other time, you're bisexual. You are no longer straight. If you only have sex with the same gender, you're gay. Sorry to break it to you, but people who think like this are really, really trying to preserve something within themselves, I guess. They're lying to themselves quite heavily.
Mate, I've never told anyone this, but I'm a straight guy who has sex with other males weekly. This started a couple of months ago when I was going through a dry spell and just wanted to have sex. I went on Tinder and changed my preferences to dudes, matched some guys and found a dude that was comfortable meeting. We had sex. It felt like I was losing my virginity all over again.
I will say this. I had the thought of doing this. I've never had sex with a guy. I've had gay thoughts, and you know what? Everybody in the world has had at least a gay thought or two in their life, so that's fine. It's normal. We're just human. But there have been a couple of times where I have felt so in the mood that I was just like, fuck it. But after like a minute or two, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna stick with women. I'm not gonna sleep with a dude. No thanks.
You are...
There ain't no way a dick isn't gonna go anywhere near my ass or my mouth. I'm sorry, but no.
Definitely not straight. If you're poking sphincters that belong to men, you ain't straight, mate. Which is fine, by the way. Just why would you suggest you're not?
I have proof that if he wanted to, he would. I don't even know this guy. This guy has been sending me Goodnight Queen every single night since May. Every single night.
Dude, what are you
Goodnight
doing?
Queen, Goodnight Queen. I'm really attached to it now.
If you're sending chicks like messages every night and they don't reply to you, stop, you fucking creep.
Sometimes if I don't get a Goodnight Queen, it like hurts my feelings.
So she replied there, thank you for your work. So you're just egging him on. That's smart.
I'm really attached to it now. Sometimes if I don't get a Goodnight Queen, it like hurts my feelings. Sometimes I say goodnight back. Sometimes.
He said love you. Like, obviously this person is deranged.
Goodnight Queen, Goodnight Queen. But this has lasted longer than some of my relationships. I feel like everyone deserves to be told Goodnight Queen every...
I think it's funny he's adding the number next to it, just to let her know how many times he's fucking said it.
Fucking hell. Wouldn't that scare you?
And I love this. We're almost at 200.
This...
Look, I can't justify something like that, because... You know, if it's your friend and you're doing that, you know, to make sure at least somebody is saying it to them, that's fine, and you know, there's nothing behind it. But you know, you're doing this to a random person, and they're never answering you back. That is really you need some help, my friend. That's honestly, that's if it's not bordering on, it is stalkerish. It's creepy.
This should scare you. Like, I know a lot of people talk about that men shouldn't attack women and women should feel comfortable everywhere, but that's not the reality of the situation, okay? There are crazy people out there. Case in point, messaging 200 times "good night, queen" to some random woman you've never met.
How do I learn how to be a man if I have no man influence in my life?
See, the problem when a father walks out of these dudes' lives is
I love Steve Harvey. He's a wonderful dude.
there's a hole in his soul the shape of his father. Here's the deal, single mothers. Every boy is going to emulate some man somewhere.
I'm only really sort of pausing because of the copyright infringement on the music, but Steve Harvey here, the man with the mustache, he's spot on. And there's so many young men, particularly in America, and this is what they're referring to here, who don't have fathers, and they become shit versions of themselves. They become their dads. And it's fucking difficult without a positive masculine influence in your life to become a good person as a man. And it's what a lot of people are missing. And I don't want to fucking plug the book again, but that's what I wanted to do here. I wanted to provide, for people who don't have that positive influence, who is masculine, I wanted to provide it for them if they want it. Yeah, it's crazy to see the comparison between like crime, violent crime rates, and fatherlessness. It's dramatic. This part, including that bit, is probably the more serious part of the video. Like, we're all fucking around at the start. I mean, okay, a lot of, no, obviously not, like psycho, whatever.
And when it comes to new parents, like that previous one where the mother just leaves a baby on the father and runs away, it just reminds me in that when it comes to becoming a parent, none of us have no idea what we're doing. Nobody has a single idea of what they're doing. They're just they're winging it. Every parent is winging it because nobody has any idea what they're doing. Because nobody has a solid idea of how to be a parent. So everybody's just winging it.
But this is the real question. Are men okay? Because I think, unfortunately, the answer in a lot of cases is no. Not at all. US college degrees by gender. For every 100 men that get a college degree since the year 2000, 142 females. So there is a change in the status quo. More women are getting degrees than men. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will support that and say, that's great, that's wonderful. But isn't there a gap there then? Don't you want, for your diversity and all that inclusion shit, it to be 50-50? You don't, do you? Because when females seem to get on top in things like this, people support it. But shouldn't it be 50? Isn't that what we're talking about here? I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be 50-50.
I don't think in the entirety of how, until humanity comes to a final end, there will never be true, I mean actual true absolute equality. There never will be. Because men and women are different. We are not the same. We will always be different. And I don't see why people have a problem with that. There is nothing wrong with men and women being different. And see, we don't want equal outcome. We want equal opportunity. We want to give an equal opportunity to everybody, but a lot of people want the equal outcome for everybody, which is, I don't think that's a good thing. We just need to give people the opportunity, and that's it. And if they can't make it with the opportunity that they were given, well, then that's their fault.
50 at all. I think it should be whoever is the best for the job or best for the degree. But I think the reason that so many men are starting to not go to university, or college, they realize it's not for them. It's not their environment. It's not a masculine environment. It's a very feminine environment. Everyone's fucking walking on eggshells, pussyfooting around, scared to say words. No wonder men aren't going there, and they're just going to go and work with their hands.
People are so afraid to speak what's on their mind, to question stuff, and they're so afraid because they're worried about being canceled. They're worried about being shouted down. They're worried about people getting in their face or getting in trouble with either the school, the law, their parents, or whatnot. Nobody is allowed to have an opinion, an opposing opinion at that, or question anything. No one's allowed to say what's on their mind because people are so worried about offending something or someone. And I think that's a horrible direction that we've went down. Because, you know, how are we supposed to advance as a people if we can't, you know, have debates, if we can't have listen to other opinions or anything? We can't get anywhere as a people if we don't have this sort of stuff.
But that also stems from men being told since the fucking early days of their childhood that men are bad people. We hear that a lot. Men are bad people. They're bad, they're violent, they're dangerous. And that really affects young people. It really, really does. If you grow up as a young person and everyone's thinking you're a violent creature, then you're just going to grow up thinking that that's normal. It's not normal. You don't need to be told that you shouldn't do violent things to people. You know that. Violent people do violent things because they're violent people. It's got nothing to do with whether or not they're a man or not.
In 1990, the number of men who said that they had 6 or more close friends was around about 55%. In 2020, that dropped to 21%. It's less than halved. Right? 21% of men say that they have less than 6 close friends.
That's pretty full on. And that's what happens to dudes as they get older too. Look at, imagine asking 60-year-olds or 70-year-olds when they retire how many friends they have. Maybe 2, maybe 1, if they're lucky. Ask women the same. It's usually lots. And it's all of these things that point to why men kill themselves 4 times as much as women. We face all these issues, more issues perhaps, than some women, and no one cares. And that's why I keep asking this question in this video. Are men okay? Obviously not.
Are men okay?
On the whole, in general, I'd say no, men are not okay. Like I said, it depends on the person, but in general, I'd say probably not.
Okay. Are you guys okay? I was just watching a video of a guy like going through a breakup, and I was reading the comments, and all these men, or even all these men, are so sad in the comments. They're so sad. Are you guys okay?
There was a TikTok video I saw a long time ago that where this lady in the beginning of it, and it was stitched by a bunch of other guys, where she said, "Who is that one person you call when you feel down or depressed or sad? Who is that one person you turn to?" And then all these men that stitched it said nobody. They don't call anyone because they feel that nobody cares. Not one singular person will genuinely care enough to be there for them, to ask them if they're okay and actually mean it. They say that they have nobody to call, and they refuse to call anybody because they feel like they're not taken seriously. They'll be laughed at, it'll be used against them, that nobody genuinely will care. And so a lot of men, the good majority of men out there, they have no one to call, not even their own parents. And they'll bottle it up and their entire lives until something comes along that will be just one thing too many, and the bottle will explode. And everything will come gushing out in some form, be it violence, anger, sadness, suicide. So, in general, I don't think men are okay.
Like, you guys want to talk about it?
Like, they're not. These dudes are not okay. That's the thing. That's, a lot of people are lonely. A lot of people are broken. A lot of people have this diseased mindset that they can't seem to escape or treat. And there's nothing they can do about it. And that's horrific. And maybe they'll turn their lives around. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll end it all. It's tough to be a dude. And it's definitely tough to be a female. It's tough to be alive. But the fact that people just refuse to consider that it is hard to be a man, that makes it worse for a lot of men out there who already feel like the whole world's against them. If you are already struggling and you constantly get told in the media that men are bad people, fuck men, all this shit. Just breaks you down even more. I don't know if you've seen this.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys, instead of trying to find help to better themselves, to get themselves out of a dark place, a lot of them will turn to marijuana, some sort of hard drug, alcohol, and some of them go too far with it and end up ending their own lives. And some people just turn to suicide without any of that, because they feel like there's nothing else that'll help. And I'll say this: suicide should never be considered, because while you may think it is an escape, it may be an escape, but overall there are people who do actually care, and your death inevitably affects those who have been in your life that do care, that you weren't able to see. So suicide should never be considered, even though that's something a lot of people think that it's the only way.
But this is a video that went super viral. It's two dudes at the soccer, and one keeps asking the dude on his right, on our left, if he's doing okay. How's his week been? Keeps asking, and we as the viewer look at him and go, fuck, he must be pretty down in the dumps. He must be quite depressed. You know, obviously he's struggling. They're at the game every single week or every second week, and he looks struggling he looks like he's struggling every single time. And we think, okay, what's going to happen here in this video? Is he going to not be there, even though his mate keeps asking, is everything okay? Hope things are better outside of football. Questions like that. And the whole thing about this video is watching to the end, because one week,
at times it can be obvious when someone is struggling to cope.
All changes. One man sits down and one man doesn't. It's a dude who wasn't even showing the fact that he was struggling, who's gone. Are men okay?
Yeah. See, that's in case for something like that. The one case I can think of is the former lead singer. I can't remember his name. The former, I don't know if he was a lead singer, but the former singer of Linkin Park. It's people like that. They outwardly they show that they're happy, they're fine, and everything, and nobody can see beyond the mask, the facade that they put on. For people, they can't see past that, and they don't see, and the person themselves makes sure that nobody can see that they are hurting so much and everything, and internally they're going through such hell. They're battling demons that inevitably they're losing to every single day, to the point where the war they've been going on, they've been fighting inside themselves is finally over, and they've lost. And they feel like the only way to get away from it is to end their own life, like the Linkin Park singer did. They show that they're happy and everything, but they're not. That's how a lot of men out there are. They show that they're happy, and they make sure that those around them are happy. And there are some people who sacrifice their own happiness, but they put on a smile. They put on this mask for other people to see, to make sure that they don't worry the people around them, because they want to make sure that the people around them are happy and content and are doing all right, even though they themselves are screaming for help. They're so desperate for help, but they don't want to show it. And it's those people that need someone there for them the most. It's not a great thing.
No.
So, men are not okay. In general, I would say I would have to agree with that. Men are not okay. But that was Men Are Not Okay. I would love to hear your opinions in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you all have to say and your thoughts are. But yeah. Please make sure to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more. I post Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. every day. I hope links to all my socials and all other platforms that I'm on will be in the description below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.